Right now on NBC26 Live at 5, a third prison worker injured in an attack at Green Bay Correctional Institution, raising concerns over prison safety. Plus, we're learning more about the two young men swept off a pier in Sheboygan and their friend who survived. And the GOP convention in Cleveland brings more controversy. We begin with new developments. Another attack on a staff member at the Green Bay Correctional Institution has state leaders asking for major changes at the Alloway prison. Yesterday, an inmate threw boiling water at a staff member's face. That person is now receiving medical care at a burn center in Milwaukee. NBC26's Eric CREST has more from state lawmakers on what they say needs to be done. Eric?
There has now been three separate attacks on staff members here at the Green Bay Correctional Institution in less than a year. Now today, Senator Dave Hansen saying that the concerns continue piling up, claiming that just yesterday some communication radios weren't working when that inmate got violent, adding that by the time the Department of Corrections Secretary shows up later this week to Green Bay, Senator Hansen hopes they'll be talking about significant safety changes and not increased penalties for violators.
We need a thorough independent review of our prisons. Something is not working. And every time they go into work now, their lives are at risk.
Today, Senator Hansen is requesting the Department of Corrections install blind spot mirrors in areas of the prison where inmates can sneak up on officers. Now, he would also like to see forced overtime, sometimes as much as 80 hours per week for guard workers, to be eliminated. Now, tomorrow morning, we'll be talking with the Department of Corrections, so you'll want to stay tuned to NBC26.com and, of course, our 5 and 6 broadcast for all the latest details. Reporting in Alloway, I'm Eric CREST with NBC26.
Now on NBC26 update on the theft of multiple guns from Nelson Tactical. You remember police were called to the business on Velp Avenue around 3:30 yesterday morning. Witnesses reporting seeing 3 black men leave the store. Investigators say they're now looking for a silver SUV in connection to the break-in. Now Gus's Guns also reported an attempted burglary early yesterday morning. And investigators say just like at Nelson Tactical, a brick was thrown through their window, but nothing was taken. If you have any information on either case, you're asked to call Green Bay Police. New surveillance video just released today shows the man Appleton police believe robbed the Horicon Bank on Midway Road last week. He's believed to have escaped on his bicycle and may have been spotted in a silver Impala. You're asked to contact police if you have any information. Now to new information, the only survivor in the Sheboygan pier drowning speaking out tonight. You remember 21-year-old Kurt Ahonen and 22-year-old Ladam Lalazern died after being swept off a pier by big waves Sunday afternoon. Tonight, communities are rallying behind the families impacted. NBC26's Raquel Amel joins us now live at 5 with how they're coping. Raquel?
Well, Megan, for 22-year-old Dylan Abeda, he says the reality is still sinking in, that he lost 2 of his best friends. He tells me the reason the St. Norbert College students went out to the pier was to see if they could make it to the end, and with big waves crashing. But on their way back, things went horribly wrong. A huge wave came up from behind, knocking all 3 into the water. Abeda says he tried to swim to his friends, Adam and Kurt, but couldn't reach them because of the high waves and swift current.
It would pull you one way and would pull you the next way, so... And in addition to pulling you around on the surface, I could feel it dragging me down underneath as well.
A St. Norbert College is providing counseling for Dylan and the victims' families to help with the grieving process. Coming up tonight at 6, you'll hear much more from Dylan, including what he says his 2 friends were like. Keeping you connected, I'm Raquel Amel, NBC26.
Now on NBC26 follow-up, investigators are now calling a shooting incident in the town of Utica an attempted murder-suicide. Police identifying the 29-year-old man who died as Luke Smith. He was found dead at the scene. A 36-year-old woman was also shot and is hospitalized. 3 dogs were also shot and killed. 2 people are dead after their plane crashed near a grassy runway in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. State police say the 2-seat plane crashed in Marquette County's Ely Township. The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating. Police are investigating 2 crashes involving Pokemon Go in Verona. Both drivers crashed their vehicles into trees and were cited for drunk driving. The men admitted they were playing the game. Time now for your first forecast with Cameron Moreland.
Megan, it's another really nice July day across the state of Wisconsin. We have temperatures right now that range from the upper 60s in Superior to the upper 70s in Milwaukee to the mid 80s in La Crosse. Your evening planner calls for lots of sunshine to mix with just a few clouds from time to time. When you're walking the dog at 7 o'clock, look for temperatures right around 80 degrees. We'll see fair skies as we head deeper into the night. Temperatures will fall into the 60s once the sun goes down. Megan?
Indecision 2016, right now roll call has started to officially nominate Donald Trump as the Republican presidential candidate. And the big story out of Cleveland is how parts of Melania Trump's speech last night sounded like Michelle Obama's 8 years ago. Tracy Potts is in Cleveland as the campaign defends her speech.
Their words are undeniably similar.
That you work hard for what you want in life. That your word is your bond.
You work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond.
The only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams.
The only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams.
Trump's campaign chair denies any wrongdoing and blames Hillary Clinton.
It's just another example as far as we're concerned that when Hillary Clinton is threatened by a female, the first thing she does is try to destroy the person.
Chris Christie also coming to her defense today.
93% of the speech is completely different.
But Trump's co-chair calls it a mistake. And RNC chair Reince Priebus praised the speech but says he'd probably fire her speechwriter. The campaign says a team of writers worked on this speech. Mrs. Trump says she wrote it.
I wrote it and with a little help as possible.
All that as Donald Trump prepares to be officially nominated today.
The ayes have it.
Despite an uprising Monday by anti-Trump delegates, the vote is set for tonight. Then speeches focusing on the economy, including Chris Christie, Ben Carson, Washington's top 2 Republicans, and 2 of Trump's children. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Well, Senator Ron Johnson is set to deliver a primetime speech tonight at the convention. Well, the sheriff of Milwaukee County, Wisconsin, spoke at a Republican National Convention with a pro-police message, criticizing the Black Lives Matter movement. In an interview with CNN, he said he predicted the recent police shootings in Dallas and Baton Rouge.
What we witnessed in Ferguson, in Baltimore, and Baton Rouge was a collapse of the social order. So many of the actions of the Occupy movement and Black Lives Matter transcends peaceful protest and violates the code of conduct we rely on. I call it anarchy.
The sheriff also said, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make something very clear. Blue lives matter in America. Well, Baton Rouge investigators are releasing new photos and video of the gunman who killed 3 officers and injured 3 others, showing the 29-year-old run past civilians to shoot at the officers. One of the injured was shot while trying to radio in the gunman's license plate. He's in critical condition. A Facebook post from the Grant County Sheriff is getting thousands of likes. In his message, Sheriff Nate Dreckman asked people to step up and denounce violence against police officers. One of his deputies was assaulted in a bar this weekend off duty. The deputy will survive, but Dreckman argues the mental abuse officers nationwide have endured is much more damaging. We have breaking news now live at 5. Crews are battling a fire in the downtown Green Bay area. The fire broke out just after 4:30 near South Broadway. NBC26 has a crew on the way and will be updating this story throughout the newscast and online. Stay with us. We have continuing coverage now on the theft of a Black Lives Matter sign from Appleton. Fox Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship has now replaced this sign 3 times. NBC26's Ashley Barnes is in Appleton with what the church plans to do now. Ashley?
Megan, that sign has been vandalized once and also stolen 3 times. But ever since the church does say that they do plan to replace that sign. And it wasn't even 72 hours after putting up the newest sign and the dedication of it that the church noticed it was gone. The parts hanging the sign scattered all over the parking lot. But even through the unsettling feeling the theft causes, prosecution isn't the first thing on the pastor's mind.
I'm hopeful that whoever stole the sign will own up to their own convictions and be able to return it and to talk with us about why they did such a thing.
And even if the sign is not returned, they will spend another $200 on that sign. But overall, they have spent about $600 on that sign. And the church does say they do plan to increase security. As of right now, there are no cameras, but they are thinking of other ways to make sure that sign is safe. Reporting live in Appleton, keeping you connected, Ashley Barnes, NBC26.
Thank you, Ashley. It's a special day here at NBC26. We're making an anniversary, 20 years in the making, and some people haven't changed a bit. A trip down memory lane is coming up, and Netflix struck it big with their Making a Murderer series.